You know how history loves a simple story? Two brothers, a windy beach, and a flying machine that changed the world, but the invention of the airplane? It's not that simple. Behind the Wright brothers' iconic flight in 1903 are a bunch of myths that deserve to crash and burn. The first myth is that the Wright brothers were the only ones trying to fly. Around the same time, inventors like Santos Dumont in Brazil and Samuel Langley in the US were also building machines that flirted with flight. The Wrights just figured out the secret sauce: control. They cracked the code of steering an aircraft in 3 directions, something no one else managed. And no, they didn't just roll the flyer out of the garage one weekend. The brothers spent years testing gliders in the sand dunes of Kitty Hawk, even building their own wind tunnel to study wing shapes. It wasn't genius alone. It was good old-fashioned obsession. If you think the Wright Flyer was the first thing to ever fly, not quite. Balloons had been sailing the skies for over a century, and gliders had already made brief, powerless hops. What made the Wright Flyer special was that it could take off on its own power and be controlled mid-air. It was the first true airplane. Here's another twist. Nobody believed them at first. Their early flights were so poorly documented that even newspapers shrugged it off. It wasn't until 5 years later, when they wowed crowds in Europe, that the world finally said, okay, maybe these bicycle guys are onto something. And while Orville and Wilbur get the spotlight, their sister Catherine was the one keeping things afloat behind the scenes. She handled the business, the press, and probably stopped them from killing each other in the process. She was the unsung co-pilot of aviation. So, the story of flight isn't just about one big leap. It's a patchwork of failed experiments, quiet determination, and one family's refusal to quit. The Wright brothers didn't just build a plane, they built the foundation for the modern world, even if it took a few myths to get the story off the ground. If you love uncovering the real stories behind the legends, hit like, and subscribe to the History Mythbuster, where history's details finally get their moment to shine.